it's not the same thing, but I like this attempt a lot because he's trying to replicate, because it's trying to replicate what what Akuzawa Sensei was doing.
So this one here, we can see number of differences.
I think is that you, John? Anyways, yeah, no, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say this one is closer. The setup is closer to what Sensei was showing.
Right, it's a one-handed grip, and by the way, I like this attempt. It's not the same thing, but I like this attempt a lot because he's trying to replicate, because it's trying to replicate what Akuzawa Sensei was doing. So I mean, like, I give lots of credit to him.
Absolutely do. And
more to the point, he actually kind of gets what's trying to be recreated, even though he's not successful. If you play the video.
Yep, play it. Unfortunately, I can't slow this down any further. Okay, so again, oh, this is nice. It'll repeat for me endlessly.
You know, this one I really do like because he actually does try to get underneath the person.
You
right?
can see that the pelvic shift where he's trying to rotate underneath and then move him up, right? I mean, is that what you're looking? You're looking at his abdomen rotation from.
Yeah. He tried to. Yeah, he drops it, and there's actual physical drop too, which does sort of help. Unfortunately, that
which I don't see in the other video actually.
Right.
And also, his shoulder doesn't raise as much as we saw in the other video.
This is actually a cleaner.
Yeah, it is, and I would actually say he's actually got.
Good point, Xavier.
This was actually a good try until he runs into resistance right there.
Yeah, you can see. Let's see. Can we pause it? Right about. Oh, right there. You can see. If you see the hand. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse or not, but if you see his hand, it starts shaking back and forth along the whole arm. So he's trying to deal with that load, and it's primarily on his arm.
Yep.
So now you also see how his butt kind of like comes. It starts rising up.
Yeah, I think slightly before that.
And it's rising up because he's using his back to push.
Yep.
And his legs. And this is, and even though it's not obvious in the video with Akuzawa Sensei is not pushing. I don't know how much we have to say this and how much we have to repeat it, but there is no push when Akuzawa Sensei is lifting someone up like that. He is lifting his arms up, yes, but there's no actual muscular force that's actually pushing against that person's
So actually,
weight.
what I'd say is, like, you know, the gentleman here doing it, like he's not accessing like this you know, the front all the way down to the crotch, et cetera, et cetera. So he's going to run into that jam.
Why is that jam created? So that's a question people really have to ask themselves.
Yeah. I mean,
the opponent.
You go.
Right. So the opponent's pushing down, right? You can clearly see he's pushing down. And then what is the person who's trying to execute this move is doing is he's actually fighting it. You can see the fight. You can see the shaking. And, you know, we are very conditioned to fight against another force, aren't we?
That's something you have to fight against.
Yeah. No, it's a very, very lizard brain reaction to everything we do. And anytime someone shoves you, you want to shove back, right? And that's what Akuzawa Sensei does not do. And it's very subtle, and it's actually very scary because he doesn't react. And I think some of you felt that before. When you shove against Akuzawa Sensei, he does not react to that. He does not shove back. he just takes that and kind of says, okay, give it to me. He loads that weight onto himself, just like if you were bench press. He often says this a lot in our online class. You have to kind of imagine there's a lot of weight that you're holding and that's going to go against you, and you just rest that on top of you, just like if you were going to bench press. You don't bench press by fighting the weight. You rest that weight into you and into the bench, and you push into the bench to move that weight up.
So if we think about the physics, right, Newton's third law, if you push into something inanimate, you're going to get that repulsion force.
For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And so no magic is involved, guys. This is still physics.